this is not the only story about racial justice in Trump's America tonight. You are here because I want to walk through, and I think we can pull up some of the video, about a very infamous case, and that is the Eric Garner case. This was an unarmed man, a father, who was held in a chokehold by the NYPD. And for 5 years, this case has been under various investigations. Today, it's Donald Trump's Justice Department that ruled they will not. This is the infamous video. He was held, he was selling loose cigarettes, and he was held down on the ground, and he ultimately died saying, "I can't breathe." The chokehold was ruled illegal. Today, Donald Trump's Justice Department said there will be no charges in that case, despite some recommendations from the Civil Rights Division. I would say it's not a far cry, according to many, from the other story we've been discussing all hour. Walk us through the significance. So
the only person to go to jail for the death of Eric Garner is Ramsey Orta, the man who made the videotape, the hero who took out his cell phone and showed the whole world what the NYPD was doing. So the federal prosecutor in Brooklyn said that he couldn't prove willfulness, and that's why he didn't want to bring the case. But that was contradicted by the experienced career lawyers in the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department, who said that they could prosecute and win the case. Now, why would they think that? In part because in 1998, the Justice Department won a case against an NYPD officer who killed a man by putting him in a chokehold. And in that case, Ari, they didn't have cell phone video. In this video, we see Mr. Garner saying 12 times, "I can't breathe."
Right. So and that's what I want to play, and I'm going to tell my folks, because we've got a live action situation watching the House. I'm telling my control room to pull up. We have some of that video, which I think we're going to pull up in a moment. And that puts together what you just said. I want folks to understand this because it's directly relevant to what's happening on the House floor and the question of civil rights and equality in America and whether the Justice Department here is even trusted to deal with this. I've talked to a lot of sources who are very skeptical of how this process played out. So what I'm going to show you at home right now is parts of that infamous video and the resolution that we've had. It's been 5 years. The officer's still on the job. He hasn't been removed from the workforce. And every time there's been an investigation, it has not resulted in charges. Take a look.
I'm minding my business, officer. I'm minding my business. Please just leave me alone. I told you the last time. Please just leave me alone. Wait, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Hold on. Listen, don't touch me, please.
Came over.
Not touch me. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.